Well, hello everyone. You're here to show you the playground stories. Becky-David, coloring right here. As you have right here is you got the school from Becky-David Elementary School, and then of course talking about playground stories Becky-David, and of course it could be also be other elementary schools I went to. It's like you got Henderson, along with that it's like you got Cosley, and along with the Fairmont, but basically talking about is the elementary schools this elementary school right here that of course is located off Junk Station Road in St. Charles, Missouri is. But you have right here is talking about is that you got the details right here at the school, and then of course talking about the year of 1995 and 1996, that you got the detail right here of the playground is that they went ahead and of course added some improvements. It's like you get like little arch climb, say like little monkey bar type arch climbing area right here, and then you get like these little sway bars right here, and along with the four square, and along with tetherball, and then along with basketball area, and then of course the soccer field would be at about close right back here, and then you got the kickball area right here. But basically, talk about the details about is that for Becky-David is that so far with playground memories is that the memories that I remember, of course, is that I would that most kids would probably say that out on the playground, the playground was one of the best parts of the day, and of course with me that I like to spend most of my time indoors. It's like indoors, and of course that I would a lot of times during my free time whenever I was in school, I would do colorings, and of course that the type of colorings that I would do more likely would be like birds, and then see here, and every once in a while I think cars. Once or two, a couple of times I would draw like cars, and then birds was mainly the thing, since I like drawing birds. But it's like if I could maybe draw like maybe a few birds, and in the background it's like draw a few birds in the sky right here in the background. So you draw some birds right here. It's like they could be as like geese or whatever. But basically is that if we all remember for playground, the playground stories is that we go outside, to the playground, and that a lot of times that maybe you like to look at the sky, and then that maybe along with hanging out with your friends, you say you can have it to where you hang out, you'll be able to hang out with your friends and then play four-square, and then along with playing kickball, and then I really don't know that they didn't really have any type of that I remember did not have any swings or any type of slide in that part of the playground. It's the school that of course this school right here that Becky-David that back in 1995 96 whenever I went there, that of course there was two separate playgrounds. That there was the one I think on the north side it is, and then the one on the south side. That the one on the north side, of course, I guess had like swings and stuff, and then along the side, and the one on the north side just had the regular four square, and then along with the kickball, and then along with tetherball and basketball areas. But basically, is that talk about for playground stories is that a lot of times with the kids that they would like to hang out with their friends and stuff, and then of course is that with me that a lot of times that I just mainly just like watching other kids play. It's like you have it to where that a lot of times that you get picked on quite a few times on the playground. Maybe it's like a few kids that wear glasses, and I remember that sometimes the teachers to be able to control that about being picked on the playground, about the fact that they try to control a lot of that, and I'm like that maybe I can go on a couple of stories about about being picked on the playground, and then of course that you have it to where that I have a couple of times have played Foursquare, and then not too much soccer too much at the time, but maybe every once in a while play kickball. But other than that, it was like I would just kept to myself most of the time whenever I was outside. And of course that one of the things entertainments is most of the time that I didn't really go out to the playground too much at a time. That of course is that I would have it to where maybe have it to where that the schedule that they would have it to where that the schedule would be like reading. That they would do like reading on the schedule, and then I think and then along with that, see here, story time. Story time. Other than that, and then of course that a lot of teachers would say that whenever they do the schedule, that they would they would mark on the schedule right here, is that mark on there for, when recess time was. But I have it to where that when I go out to the playground, that from the cafeteria, that you have it to, it's like that a lot of people, as soon as they they get done during lunch hour, and then they would go out to recess. And then I remember that a lot of times you go out to the playground, and then you'll be able to do like get in teams and stuff like that if you wanted to get in line, what you say, of whatever sport that you wanted to play. And I remember that once or twice, a lot of times that when that I got picked on a lot of times, it's like that one of a few of the classmates that of course would come up to me, and it's like hey man, how come, it's like why don't you come play with us or whatever. And then of course gotten kicked, and then along tripped on the playground, and then a couple once or twice that people just walked by me and didn't bother to of course is ask if I was all right. They just kept walking. But a lot of times that with most teachers, it is that if you're going to be bullied around on the playground, to know is to try to work out the problems. It is. And of course is to know is like for all kids is to respect each other on the playground, is to know that it's like is to respect each other, and to treat each kid like if they were normal. It's like normal kids. It's like thinking about it, it's like how they play when going with the rules of the playground, and then respecting them for for who they are. Is that that with the between mature and immature kids, it is. But I remember when the things that I liked, of course, on the playground was that whenever I was out out during on a recess, that I would I would have a yearbook. And I remember that a lot of the classmates, of course, would come up to me and say, hey man, I would like to sign your yearbook. It is. And then I would have it, and then I would get a number of signatures, which don't even remember exactly who signed it. But I remember the yearbook, which that was kind of a long story too. That I had ordered a yearbook from the the yearbook, had pre-ordered a yearbook, and then apparently what happened was that the order was miscounted. It is that apparently that the teacher had went to the office just to find out what was going on, but apparently they had an extra one. But apparently that my order, that there was two yearbooks that were ordered back then, and what happened was that of course it's like it's like your sister got one, and then along with that maybe a cousin, if they went to that school, then they would get a yearbook. But I remember that I told the teacher in the classroom that I didn't get the yearbook, and I remember I ordered a yearbook, and then so she helped me get one. It's like well, there's your yearbook. That they miscounted the ordered numbers, and so whenever I had the yearbook, that's whenever got the most attention. A lot of times, a lot of the kids, whenever they get something, maybe it's a toy or something like that, or maybe glow-in-the-dark shoes or whatever you call it, then more likely that they would get a little bit more attention. on the playground. But other than that, it's like between good stories and then the bad stories of the playground stories, is to know that it's like whoever it is, it's like a lot of the kids to know that that is like it's like for to know about that get to know each other about for the types of grades that you made, the grades that that you made may not have been perfect, but know that that they would ask us a lot of times in school. It's like, well, what do you want to be whenever you grow up? And I remember that one of them, of course, the things that one of the things that I mentioned to a few other people is that I wanted to be a superhero, and of course that superhero is not really what you call an actual superhero. I'm talking about, if anything, maybe it was a superhero. It's like artist. It's like maybe I wanted to be that person who wanted to create superhero comic art art related comics. It is. But other than that, it's like for making the art look real, is a lot of times that this is what I like to do. It's like what you call during the recess time was doing artwork kind of like this. And although for for Foursquare and basketball it's like for that perfect score it is for whatever grade it's like that I would make, is that to know that it's like, well, what do you want to be whenever you grow up? It's like you want to be a good study-hardy kid. So far as for the playground memories and playground memories for Becky-David, memories of the playground, and for Becky-David's elementary school.